We created a housing tool in Unity that allows people to visualize how their neighborhood could change via gentle density. Before we get into how it works, let's back up and provide some context. At this point, it's obvious Canada is having housing affordability issues. The solution should be simple, right? Canada just needs to build more homes. With more homes comes less demand, and less demand equals lower prices. However, putting aside zoning laws, building permits, and other construction blockers, even if you could build more housing, you would still need to consider where and how that new construction will affect surrounding communities. It'd be a mistake, for example, to build a large condominium in a part of Toronto that already has traffic problems. The Alliance for Livable Ontario has a different approach: gentle densification.
It's a way of describing density that is just, it's like Goldilocks density. It's not too dense, but it's better than single family home density.
This concept mainly focuses on modifying existing housing to accommodate more families. For example, building a garden suite in your backyard, or renovating your existing home by converting your garage and basement into separate units. This approach works best if it's adopted in a widespread manner and is viable as both a short-term and long-term solution. There's just two problems. The first is that many communities are hesitant to embrace change, especially it affects their living conditions. The second is that it's hard to imagine what gentle densification can actually look like.
Most people see density like a light switch. They have single family density, and then you hit the light switch and you get large condo towers. Most people have not seen examples of gentle density, and so they're afraid of density because they're afraid of that. They think it means large towers.
With these problems in view, the Alliance for Livable Ontario wanted to create an easily accessible tool to allow urban developers, builders, and the general populace to see how a neighborhood could change if gentle densification was adopted. When Franz approached us with this idea, we got to work developing a web application built in Unity Engine. Many early discussions centered around which neighborhoods are good candidates for gentle densification and how more public services would need to be created to accommodate more population. Given the time and budget constraints, the first prototype was designed to accomplish a few critical things. It had to be easy to access, had to be easy to navigate, the housing changes needed to be easy to perceive, and it had to be realistic enough that the user could envision these changes in their own life. For this version, we decided to go with a suburban neighborhood in southern Ontario. We utilized Google Maps 3D data for the placement of the houses, roads, and backyards. Together with Franz and rehousing.ca, our team created different housing models that accurately reflected housing in that area, as well as variants to these models that illustrate how they would be changed using gentle density. The experience was built to account for 3 population changes. You start with the way the neighborhood is today, and then are able to see how housing in that area could change if the population were to grow by a % amount. The result of these changes showcased that changes to existing communities could vary wildly. Sometimes even just having a few properties adopt this approach had a significant impact on population. This prototype will be the base in which a more in-depth and detailed planning tool can be created.
Now that the prototype is done, we've got a product we can take to potential funders and to a whole bunch of different stakeholders and say, look, we've got a tool that can illustrate density, different types of density, a tool that people can use to see what gentle density can look like in their community.
This project was a passion for us to work on, and we're eager to see how much further it can go. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to keep up with all things CERT related, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn.